This is the JP free float handguard. It's the modular VTAC handguard. I think it's pretty lightweight and it's really modular. You can have different rail sections and everything attached on here. Now this is kind of the last piece of the puzzle here as far as the handguard and the gas block is concerned. You basically just go ahead and slide this baby on here. But I'm going to go ahead and place some of these rail attachments in points that I think is necessary before I place the tube on there. And that's one of the great things. This is a really narrow and thin tube, which is really great, but you can also put rail attachments where you want them, which is a good thing. Unfortunately, these rail attachments are extremely expensive. And the Troy rail, for example, the TRX actually comes with, I think, 3 rail attachments, which is a good thing. This one doesn't even come with any, but they do give you a 20% off discount on the rail attachments if you buy them with the rail. So as you can see here, it's kind of a 2-piece thing. So you kind of have to have the rail off. I'm sure some people actually said they've tried to get these things on here with the rail on, but I'm not sure that's possible. Just go ahead and place these little guys in here and tighten them down. And you can place these rail sections pretty much anywhere you want. It's really convenient, and I got the smaller versions because you don't necessarily need all that rail, and it just adds to weight and adds to the bulk. So I got this guy here at my I guess you would say kind of 11 o'clock position, and it's for the light, so I can put a WML or some type of light on here. As you can see, I actually didn't get the rear piece all the way in the notch. I was trying to get it a little too far forward, but you can get that piece all the way into the notch so that it actually sits a little more flush on the inside of the rail. As you can see, this interferes with the gas block. You'll see that here in a second, but it's popping out. Even if it's all the way in the notch, it's still it's a little close for comfort in my opinion. But just go ahead and get that guy all the way in there. I mean, it functions perfectly as it is now, but I think it's intended to go actually deeper into the notch, and you can tighten it down a little farther, and it gives you a little more space inside there. As you can see here, that's just my quick access light mount there. It's pretty convenient. You don't have to have an offset mount or anything. Just go ahead and put it right in the slot. Now this is the next one I'm going to use here for either a bipod or a angled foregrip. At this moment I don't have a bipod, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the AFG on there. But as you can see here, you have to take this second piece off and only use the rail section for the bottom rail piece, because it's just a couple holes in there. You don't actually have the same slot as if you're putting it on the side pieces or in the offset position. So as you can see, these are the holes at the bottom of the rail that you can go ahead and place the bottom rail section on. Unfortunately, the top of the rail actually has special rail section holes, so you can't use these smaller rail sections. Actually, on the very top of the rail, they sell special rifle length or carbine length or mid-length rail sections for the top, which supposedly will fit with most flat tops. I'm not exactly sure about that. I wasn't really 100% sold on the ability to be completely flush with my flat top, so I went with these offset positions. But it's kind of unfortunate that you can't use these rail sections on the top. You have to get a special rail section, which is actually even more expensive for the top of this rail, or this handguard, which is kind of unfortunate and just a little bit cost prohibitive. But again, this works on the bottom or any of the offset positions or the side positions. And just go ahead and tighten it down. You can put a vertical foregrip, you can put an angle foregrip, or you can put really anything that you see fit. As you can see here, the screws protrude a little bit into the handguard, which is a little unfortunate. I think they actually are that way so they can meet this other piece, but on the bottom it leaves a little bit out there. So I might grind these down or something just to give me a little more clearance over that gas block whenever I'm putting it in there. But we'll just see how that works later. I think it's alright for now, and I'm going to go ahead and actually move these back a notch, because once I put the gas block in there, you will see that there's not a whole lot of clearance there, and I want to keep my free float on here, definitely keep the accuracy up, so I don't want anything coming in contact with the barrel of the gas block through, say, rapid fire or successive fire or any kind of, something pushing on the barrel. So again, here I went ahead and popped these little side mounts on for the offset. That's my little quick it's a quick acquisition backup sights. I'm going to go ahead and run the M-bus that I have on there for now, but I'm thinking of getting some higher quality metal backup sights. But anyway, that's just kind of the 45 or offset position, which is good because you don't have to buy a special offset mount or anything. You just mount them right on the side there, and you can put really any sights on there. You can do quick big dot, quick acquisition sights. You can do a red dot sight or something if you wanted. I'm just going to go ahead and use the M-bus that I have and use them in a kind of an offset manner there. So I think it's pretty effective, and it's a pretty slick setup. These things, the rails stick out a little bit more than I would really expect, but I think I think it works out at the end of the day. We'll see how once I get my WML on there and everything else, how everything goes. But again, pretty simple. Just slide this baby over right here on the top. You want to make sure you don't ding it up so much and get it right on that little receiver nut. And you want to index those the little screws in this tube. Now, as I have the tube on, you can see the very, very close around the gas block here. With all these pieces, as you can see, the one on the right is actually installed correctly. The one on the left is not all the way in. It's just kind of for reference here, but it actually hits, again, the tube isn't all the way tightened down, but I don't want any possibility of anything coming in contact here, so I'm going to go ahead and move these back. That's just a little close for comfort. For most people, I think it might work out, but for me, I'd rather move them back here and play it safe here. But let's go ahead and move up here. As you can see, the adjustment is accessible, which is pretty good. If I actually left the rail in the farthest position, that would actually block my adjustable gas block, so that's unfortunate as well. But as you can see here, you just go ahead and get this thing indexed properly. Now you can put an upper rail if you're doing you're trying to make the flat top and everything, kind of a consistent rail. They sell a piece that goes across, and you can really mount it on there to make sure it's indexed properly. But I actually am using the offset mount for the sight, so I'm not really worried about that. And I'm going to have my scope actually on the flat top, so it's not a big deal. I'm just going to go ahead and place the two larger screws. So you go ahead and place the two largest screws on the top here, and then the four smaller screws on the bottom. So just make sure you get those proper here. There's two sets of larger screws, or a little longer, and the four smaller ones, and the two longer ones actually go right on the top left and top right. And you can go ahead and crank these babies down. Now again, these are kind of small screws the way it connects on here, and it's not necessarily the best connection in my opinion. I think you can use some Loctite on here if you want. Again, this is all probably going to come off, so I can do more adjustments later, but once I get it all set, probably going to wind up tightening all these guys, torquing them down with some blue Loctite, and hopefully making it a little more permanent. You can even, on the interior of this tube here, where you're sliding it onto the receiver nut, use a lot of Loctite and whatnot, just to make it a really solid connection. But at this point, I want to keep it to where I can take it off, and so it's slick, so I can make adjustments. I think it actually is working pretty well. I think it matches the system pretty slick. And it's kind of the flat dark earth and the black theme going here. And again, you can actually access the adjustable gas block, which is pretty neat. And as you can see, that's a set screw where you can dial in or dial out the gas pressure as you want. Now, one unfortunate thing, this is the adjustment tool that they gave you for this. It's just a little long. I mean, you can reach in there and barely get it, but you can't really get full connection on it. So if the piece was a little shorter, that little connector piece, then actually it would be easier to fit inside that rail. It's kind of a blunder on their part, but I think it works out.
So that's the White Tiger Knight. Stay tuned for future updates. Peace out.